World Trade Organization is mobilized to the 10th Ministerial Conference in Nairobi, Kenya this December. Let's talk now to Victor Prado, Director of the Council of WTO. Thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure, thank you.
This conference is very expected. What will you discuss there?
Okay, so we will be meeting in Nairobi from the 15th to the 18th of December. It's a big gathering of 160 ministers, trade ministers from all over the world. And they go through the agenda of the WTO. It's the usual biannual meeting of the World Trade Organization. This time it's particularly important because we are at a turning point in the WTO. Some members want to continue to negotiate the Doha round. Some other members have doubts about this round and perhaps they wish to revisit the way we do negotiations in the WTO. So this is going to be at the heart of the discussions in Nairobi.
Okay, what about corruption? Is it your concerns also?
I think corruption is an overall concern all around the world. Now, the WTO is not in and of itself dealing with corruption. We have one agreement, the government procurement agreement, that has some corruption provisions in it, and that is something that can guide us in ensuring that when governments procure goods or services, that there are certain standards, minimum standards, that are anti-corruption, if you will. But it's not a big issue and it's not for all countries. At this point in time, only a handful of countries are members of the government procurement agreement. But it is a concern overall in the organization.
What about regional partnerships like the Trans-Pacific? Will it make WTO weaker or not?
I don't think it will make the WTO weaker. I think there's a lot of energy that is being devoted by different countries to these, what they call the mega regionals agreement. And they are providing some guidance into what is the future of trade agreements in the world. And I think, in fact, the WTO can be inspired by some of these agreements. It is true that they raise a lot of interesting questions for many countries, especially those who are not members of these mega regionals. Brazil, for example, or India or China are not members of these agreements, and they are asking themselves questions: what will be the future of the WTO, the really multilateral arena, if you have so much energy being devoted to these other agreements like the TPP or the TTIP between the United States and the European Union.
Victor Prado, Brazilian Director of the Council of WTO. We will continue our conversation in a second part of this interview. Thank you so much and don't miss it. Keep watching Dukascopy TV.